Invincible and Immortal are fighting with each other. Immortal tells him that you are like your father, while Mark says that I want the good of people. Immortal says I can't trust you after what you and your father have done. After that, Omni-Man also reaches there. He also joins the fight, and he blows off Immortal's head. The recording of the Invincible is going on. He say people to welcome the new rulers of the Earth with him. The Earth is now part of the Viltrumite Empire. Angstrom reaches a secret place. Guardians ask him if someone followed him. He says that no one following him. He brings a tube with energy inside. He says if this doesn't affect Omni-Man, then nothing can happen to him. Meanwhile, Omni-Man reaches there. He starts fighting with Guardians. Omni-Man kills the robot. But the robot uses the energy tube brought by Angstrom before dying. But nothing happens even with that. A fight ensues between Mark and Eve. Mark paralyzes Eve, but does not kill with life. They then turn to Angstrom, but before doing something, Angstrom opens a portal and disappears. Mark is helping people. When a fire starts in a place, he creates pressure with his speed, which brings seawater to the fire and puts it out. He captures the elephant monster. Chicago still hasn't recovered from the Omni-Man Mark fight. The Mueller twins were still in prison. A portal opens there. The Mueller twins escape to the other side through portal. Angstrom is waiting for them there. They ask him what he wants from them. Angstrom opens the portal again and takes them away. Mark reaches his school, and people express their grief to him that his father is gone. Mark meets Cecil and tells him that I have to help people. I want to work with you. Cecil tells him your condition is not good after Chicago incident. The Guardians fight a giant monster. He says that I want to become the president. The Guardians take him prisoner. Angstrom takes the Mueller twins to his facility, where he developed the machine, so that he can transfer the memory to other people. They were an expert in this work, so Angstrom asks for their help. Angstrom tells them that he can travel in different dimensions. He wants to take the memory of people like him in other dimensions. In this way, he will be able to help many people. He will be able to advance the technology. Angstrom also introduces Mueller twins to people like him. All of them were working together. Cecil comes to meet the Guardians and tells them that you guys are not doing well. A lot of damage is being done because of you. And all this lack is because of the leader, so he removes the robot and makes Immortal the leader of the Guardians. And he adds a new hero named Bulletproof to the team. Cecil tracks down the Mueller twins. He knew the Mueller twins are up to something big. Then Mark reaches there, and he says I will obey all your orders, let me work. Cecil sends Mark to stop the Mueller twins. When Mark arrives, he tells the Mueller twins to stop the machine. A fight starts between them. Angstrom opens a portal and summons many more Mueller twins. All Mueller twins beat Mark badly. But when Mark is about to die, Angstrom tries to stop them and tells them not to kill him. But when the Mueller twins don't stop, Angstrom takes off his cap, which destroys the machine. All die in it except for one molar, and half of his mouth is burnt. Angstrom also survives, but his head becomes very big. He is very angry with the Invincible for destroying everything, and he says he will take revenge from him. The evil scientist who fell into the lava last season returns, and he brings a monster from the lava. He wanted to destroy the monuments. Mark stops him and reaches his graduation in time. The Martian who came to Earth last season is still trying to adjust, but he was very scared. Eve helping people in construction in Chicago. Cecil sent Mark in a place where it was always dark. Darkwing's sidekick was working there. He sent Mark in the Shadowverse, but Mark comes out and arrests him. Cecil calls Mark and tells him that Omni-Man killed the king of Atlantis. So now, according to their law, you have to marry Queen. He sends Mark into the sea. On the other hand, the Guardians fight the Lizard League, where he meets a new superhero named Shapesmith, and he was Martian. When Mark reaches to Queen of Atlantis, he discovers that marriage law has been abolished there. They tell him that he has to fight for his life. They bring a huge monster, but during the fight, the monster becomes uncontrollable. The Invincible protects the people from it. The Guardians recruit Shapesmith into their team. He does not tell them his truth that he is a Martian. The leader of the Lizard League, the Lizard King, was in prison. He returns and takes over his league. Angstrom arrives at a place where Mark is being held prisoner. But when the security reaches there, a portal opens and goes to another dimension. Mark gets admission in upstate university. He goes there to stay in the hostel. She and William live in the same room. Far away was a planet called Yonopa where the people were living very peacefully. They were taking technology and nature together. But one day the Voltramite attacked there, and they destroyed everything. Those who survived did not give up. They tried to fight again, but they were killed. Those who survived escaped with the help of technology, and he started their rebreeding in many outposts. The leader of the coalition of planets invited Yonopan to his planet. He told them that he was preparing people at his breeding camp who could defeat the Voltramite. But still no success. But one day, a Joe Yonopan Allen was born. He was trained to be the best fighter since his childhood. He was sent on a mission one day. He was one of the most powerful people in the universe, but he still could not defeat a single Voltramite. Therefore, Yonopa closed that project. Allen was made evaluation officer. Then one day he comes back with hope. Allen tells the council that he went to Earth to tell them they are at risk from Voltramite. But he discovers that Mark himself is half Voltramite and doesn't know anything about Voltramite. He tells the council, Mark wants to save his planet. He will definitely help us against the Voltramite. We should take full advantage of it. The council says it's the first time a Voltramite has ever abandoned a mission. We found the first weakness of Voltramite, and we must take advantage of it. The disc takes Allen aside and says that there is a spy among us. You have to find it. Allen was eating in the space station. Meanwhile, the Voltramite attack. 3 Voltramites arrive and ask Allen what he saw on Earth. But he doesn't tell them anything. They leave Allen in bad condition. They think he is dead. Allen's treatment begins. Thads turns off Allen's life support. Cyan Dog approaches Mark. Mark beats him and tells him that there is no such thing as a Cyan Dog. It's just a comic. Mark beats him up again and asks him to tell the truth and Dog come back to his original state. He says his planet needs his help. Mark agrees to go with him. When Mark arrives there, he takes her to meet his king. Mark is shocked to find that their king is none other than his father Omni-Man. Mark gets angry and refuses to leave. But Omni-Man stops him and tells him just listen to me for 5 minutes. He tells him that after leaving the Earth, he did not know where he should go. He was moving aimlessly inside the space. He saw a spaceship falling into a black hole. Omni-Man rescues the spaceship and accompanies them to their planet. When he started to leave, those people stopped him there. He has been living here ever since. He is married and has a young son. Omni-Man tells him that Voltramite will attack here soon. They want to kill your brother. I need your help to save him. Mark agrees to see his brother. Muller recreates his clone twin. Voltramite attacks and Omni-Man tells Mark to take his brother and leave. Omni-Man's wife tells him about the caves, and he takes them there. A Voltramite gets there too. He fights with Mark, but Mark can't face it. Meanwhile, Omni-Man arrives and kills the Voltramite, after which Omni-Man and Mark confront the remaining 2 Voltramites. A great fight takes place between the two. Omni-Man tells Mark to kill her or she will kill you. Mark wounds the Voltramite completely but does not kill her. Taking advantage of this, she injures Mark. Omni-Man destroys both of these Voltramites. Meanwhile, the first Voltramite that wasn't dead yet returns. He suddenly attacks Omni-Man and injures Omni-Man. After that, more Voltramites arrive. They take Omni-Man away, and they say to Mark that you go back to Earth and take possession of the Earth for us. Otherwise, if we come there, we will destroy the people of the Earth, including you. Mark helps the people of this planet to repair their place. He then returns to Earth with his brother. Mark's mother gets very angry after seeing this, and she says what Omni-Man did with them, and now we will have to raise his child too. But she is willing to raise Omni-Man's son because of Mark. Cecil arrives at the Guardians' headquarters. He explains that a spaceship is coming from Mars with people inside. Turns out they all knew Shapesmith was a Martian. The Martian tells them that he did not want to live underground. Therefore, he escaped to Earth. He knocked the astronaut unconscious and took his place. And he came here from Mars. They ask him what happened to the man who stayed there. He tells them that he must have fallen into the hands of Sequids and that they will now be controlling him. That's why now they're coming to Earth. Cecil asks Immortal to prepare a team and go to stop them. Rex asks Adam Eve to join the team as well. Mark also joins the team. On the other hand, the Lizard League attacks a government facility and the rest of the Guardians arrive to stop them, but most of them are either injured or killed. Rex is also badly injured, but he stops the Lizard League. The space team enters the Mars spaceship. There the Sequids attack them. The robot analyzes that when releasing a certain frequency, the Sequids stop working for some time. He begins to develop a device that can generate that frequency on a larger scale. The rest of the heroes try to save Robot for so long. Sequids stop working as soon as they turn on the device. They flee with the astronauts left behind. Alan regains consciousness and becomes even more powerful after regaining consciousness. Theeds tells him that he had turned off his life support. He took the risk that it would either kill him or make him even more powerful. But he is glad that you are now well, and now you can fight alone against a Vultramite. Duplicate is killed fighting the Lizard League, and Shrinking Ray and Rex arrive at the hospital. Mark comes across his father Omniman's friend who used to make the suit for him. He tells him Omni-Man told him to read the books written by him, but he is not getting it. So the man brings Mark the Omni-Man books and says he never read these books. In it, Omni-Man wrote about his journey. It was about a space racer who had such a gun. Anything that came in its path was destroyed, even if it was a star. Inside a book, Omni-Man wrote his story of arriving at a planet where the gravity was so high that he couldn't fly properly, and there a powerful creature attacks him. Immortal was very angry and sad because of the duplicate's death. Cecil comes to him and tells him to take a break. In meantime, Cecil gets the news that someone is coming from space. Immortal says he will go and see. When he reaches there, Alan was there. Immortal starts fighting with him. Alan tries to stop him, but Immortal says that I am sure Omni-Man send you. In the meantime, Mark arrives there and stops the two from fighting. Immortal withdraws from there. Alan comes with Mark to his hostel room. He tells her that the Council of the Planetary Coalition wants Mark to join them in fighting against Vultramite. Mark says that he will definitely come to their aid whenever they need him. Mark tells Alan that his father asked him to read his books. It must have some weakness of Vultramite. Alan scans those books. Alan tells him that your father will be in Vultramite's prison. He tells Mark that he will find him. Mark is sitting in a restaurant with Amber. A female Vultramite arrives there. She grabs Amber's neck and tells Mark she wants to talk to him. Mark tells him that she leave Amber and wait for me in Sky. He reaches there. She tells that her name is Anissa. She tells Mark that if you want to protect the people of Earth, bring the Vultramite inside. Otherwise, your people will destroy their own land. Vultamite technology is needed to save the Earth. Donald tells Cecil that Mark has little chance of winning if the two fight. In meantime, Cecil gets the news that a monster is holding a ship in the sea. Mark tells her that if you really want to do good to the people of Earth, then come with me. Mark fights with the monster, but is unable to stop it. Anissa then attacks him and passes through him, tearing the monster apart. She then tells Mark to obey her, but Mark refuses, after which a fight starts between the two. She beats Mark badly. Mark is badly injured, but he does not give up. Seeing this, she leaves him and tells him that another Vultramite will come back after me, and if you don't listen to him, he won't let you live. After that, she leaves. Anissa goes back and tells her leader about Mark. Alan reaches there. Anissa comes to confront him. During the fight, Alan realizes that he has become very powerful and can defeat her, but Alan deliberately appears as if he is lost. She takes him prisoner in a spaceship. Omni-Man tries to escape from there, but he is not successful. Their leader tells him that he will not kill him until he is completely healed. As they are taking Omni-Man back to prison, he is spotted by Alan on the way. Alan tells him he's came for him. Angstrom arrives at Mark's house. He takes Mark's mother and his brother prisoner, and he starts sending Mark into different dimensions. He tells him that Mark has destroyed Earth in many dimensions. He and Omni-Man are the villains over there. This explains the first scene of the season in which Omni-Man and Mark fight against the Guardians. They were from another dimension. Mark becomes weaker as he moves in dimension. Angstrom would open a portal every time Mark attacks Angstrom, and Mark ends up in another dimension. When Angstrom feels that Mark has become too weak, he begins to beat him and takes it to another dimension. But Mark kills him there. But he gets stuck in the same dimension. It was the same dimension that was shown earlier in the season. A team of Guardians arrives and opens a portal for Mark to return to his dimension. When Mark comes back, his mother is in the hospital. Immortal obeys Cecil and goes on vacation. But there the duplicate arrives. She tells him that those who were fighting along them and were killed are all her clones. Two girls start digging a tomb in Egypt. She was the daughter of the man who was supposed to free Kohar in the first season, and she also came here to free Kohar. Alan tells Omni-Man that he visited Mark on Earth, so that he too can join the fight against Viltrumite. But Omni-Man says to keep Mark out of this fight. Let him live his life well. He tells Alan that he now realizes his mistake, and he misses his family. If you like my video, please like, comment, and subscribe.